then that gets covered in rubble, and then somebody else builds this, okay, and then that gets destroyed and covered. Solomon builds stables on top of this, and what you get is layers and layers and layers, one on top of the other, over thousands of years sometimes 20 later, sometimes 23. Okay, what you get basically is this. Okay. This is a tell, is what we call it. Layers and layers and layers of inhabitation. You're looking at a man-made mountain, basically. Wow. Okay, that has altogether 23 layers of inhabitation, one on top of the other, from different periods. And again, I'm not an archaeologist. Anybody here an archaeologist before I say something stupid? You know they're weird people. I mean, you know, think about it. Years and years and years with these tiny little brushes, you know, and the beating sun on their heads. Okay, but I need them for them to tell me what we're looking at. Because for me, a stone is a rock is a stone. Okay, I don't know the difference. But an archaeologist is going to look at, a piece of pottery like this. Actually, sorry, pick up a piece of pottery like this. Professor of archaeology. And said, wow, she says, I know when this is from. I said, really? She says, and then she spit on it. In order to see the side, you can see the side, because you can see, if even if looking at this, you can see some of it is this color, some of it is this color. It gets baked at this temperature. We know enough about the technology of making pottery that we can date the pottery as much as we can date the mountain. She looks at it, she goes, 348 BC. And I go, wow, you're really that accurate? She says, okay, maybe 349, I mean, I'm not sure. But they do know a lot about this. And the pottery, and the way the stone is, and everything that's cut, gives them a very good indication of what we're looking at. But there's also a rule of thumb when you kind of think about a tale like that. The bottom layers are older, and the top layers are younger. They get newer. So when the archaeologists start going down, into the hill, they're basically going back in time. They start on the top and they go back in time. Now, after saying all of that, not exactly, okay? It's not an exact science. Not only that, when you're building one layer, you're going to take stones from the layer underneath and use it, incorporate it into what you're building. So sometimes you got stones from one layer incorporated into building from another layer. And again, it's a science as much as anything else to be able to figure this out. But we're going to be going up on the tail and looking at the different periods and kind of connecting different things. Is somebody writing down book recommendations? Get your hands on a book called The Source. James Michener wrote books about places. I think he wrote one about Oklahoma, one about Texas, one about Hawaii, and he wrote a book about this tale right here. Well, he didn't say Tel Megiddo, okay? I think he called it Tel something else, I don't remember. But what he does in the very Michener way is he actually dramatizes the people that live in all the layers as the archaeologists uncover them. So he talks about the people who lived here in ancient times, prehistoric times. He talks about, people who lived here during the reign of King David, when King David came to visit the Tel. He talks about people who were here at the Byzantine period, and so forth and so on. He goes a little bit New Agey in the beginning of the book. You got to be careful about that one. But if you can get through it, it gives you a very good indication of Tel and about, the period and all the different pieces. You okay on that one? Mm-hmm. Ready to go up?
Yep. Let me just ask you a question here. So, this spot is significant because how many kingdoms did this whole country divide into?